I do want to start with a story that we have been tracking over the last 12 hours or so as we follow the latest on a shooting at Kentucky State University in the Commonwealth's capital of Frankfort. The suspect, who Frankfort police identify as Jacob Lee Bard, which we now have his booking photo. Do want to pop that up for you on your screen there. Now, from the Franklin County Detention Center here, online records there show that he's charged with murder and first degree assault. Frankfort police say one student was killed, another critically wounded when the gunshots were fired at a residence hall on campus. It happened over at Whitney M. Young Jr. Hall. While the victims are students, police say Bard, the suspect, is not in the.
Hey guys, welcome to the video. This is Justin Paul. Today we're going to be reacting to another case of just senseless violence that took the life of a student at Kentucky State University. I always like to say, just give my heart and condolences to the family members of this student. And there's another student that was injured, so I'm hoping that they are able to pull through. They're not, critically injured. That's a life-changing type of thing. And as we just heard, the individual, the suspect that is arrested for doing this, was not even a student. One thing that I've been confused about and have always been confused about ever since like the whole Columbine shooting happened, way back when I was like smaller. Um, I've always just been confused why people choose to go and shoot up schools, whether it's elementary, middle, private, college. I, I just don't understand. What point are you trying to get across? What was your goal? What was your mission? And what do you think that you was going to accomplish from doing that? It's just it's real selfish. And people just can't be in their right mind to think that going and doing something like that is like the best and smartest thing to do. And now it's just become a thing where it's like every year there has been a situation, no matter what level of schooling, every year you can find an incident that has happened within that year. I know this year alone and last year, I mean, it's probably been double digit school shootings from all grade levels. No, every level of schooling, and even down to like when it's like homecoming at certain HBCUs and stuff like that. Man, it was like during this particular homecoming season, it was so many shootings, man. I just couldn't believe it. South Carolina State, A&T, Winston State. It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous, And it's just like it's easy to sit here and say, man, these schools need to do better as far as security on campus and things like that. I mean, that's kind of like the easy answer to say, And I'm not sure why a lot of these schools aren't really seeing what's happening at other schools and really taking that into account. And making sure that they put in resources more into security. It's the same as people with nightclubs and stuff like that. Um, if you provide a service like education, and you had it's like an open campus to where people can get in and on and off that campus. It's not somebody that's gonna be there checking every person that comes on and off the campus. I mean that would damn near be impossible the way that most of these campuses are built. But you definitely want to make sure you have adequate resources to try to curb or prevent these type of things from happening. Make sure that you have cameras up everywhere, and maybe hire more, security, hire more off-duty police officers. Um, Make sure that you try to have a relationship with local law enforcement to where they will come out and monitor the school and patrol the school periodically. Because at the end of the day, what we're talking about doing is we're talking about saving lives of kids who are actually trying to go and further themselves, get an education, and just so they can get out into society and be productive members of society. So, this is something that we definitely have to think of. I honestly didn't know there was a Kentucky State University. I'm sure that, every state, has a state university of some sort. But it's crazy. Like, my first time hearing about the school would be this type of situation. I'm gonna go ahead and let the video play here.
Shooting happened around 3 p.m. local time Tuesday, with the assistant chief of police calling it an isolated incident. Investigators explain that Bard is actually from Evansville, Indiana, which is about 150 miles west of Frankfort. Again, we know one student was killed, another critically wounded, but their names have not been released. Police speaking very briefly last night about all of this, and I do want to pop up the audio and listen in to that.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Tracy, Assistant Chief of Police at the Frankfort Police Department. I'm going to make a brief statement and then hand it over to Dr. Acapo for a statement from the university. This afternoon at approximately 3:10 p.m., our Frankfort dispatch received a call reporting a shooting on the campus of Kentucky State University. Within minutes, by 3:14 p.m., Frankfort police officers arrived on scene. By that time, Kentucky State University campus police had already taken swift action, bringing a suspect into custody. 3 individuals were involved in the incident. One individual, who is not a Kentucky State University student, is in custody. Frankfort police believe this to be an isolated incident, and there are no active safety concerns on campus at this time. The other 2 individuals involved were current Kentucky State University students. Both suffered gunshot wounds. They were quickly transported to a local hospital for treatment by Frankfort Fire and EMS. Tragically, one has passed away from injuries. The other remains in critical condition. Our thoughts are with them, their families, and the entire Kentucky State University community, as well as the Frankfort community, as they navigate this difficult moment. I want to express my deepest appreciation for the quick, coordinated response between our officers and the Kentucky State University campus police. The department was also assisted by local, state, and federal agencies: Franklin County Sheriff's Office, the Kentucky State Police, Frankfort and Franklin County Emergency Management, Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, the ATF, Frankfort Fire, and EMS. Their rapid actions ensured that the situation was contained almost immediately, preventing further harm.
Okay, so as the assistant chief there is stating, you know, kudos to those, you know, on-campus police officers for Kentucky State University. I know it's a tough job, but kudos for y'all for acting swiftly, and also kudos to the local law enforcement of Frankfort there that came and what was of assistance in making sure that the suspect was in custody. So they did a great job and prevented others from being hurt as well. Sad to hear that the other individual was in critical condition. And only thing I can say is just for young kids that are in college, and for the parents of these kids in college, you got to have these conversations with them. Let them know to always be looking out for danger. And sometimes it comes by surprise, but you got to be able to just get yourself somewhere to safety quickly, and just always keep your head on the swivel. Stay aware of what's going on in your surroundings, because it's very important. It can be life or death, and it's been an uptick in this type of violence, and it seems like it's just happening on college campuses more and more. So don't ever sit there and think, oh well, it won't happen on my campus and stuff like that, man. Just always know there's a possibility of anything happening, and just have yourself prepared. Have a plan, set in place, and just know what you can do or what you would do if you start hearing gunshots ring out. Just try to get yourself to somewhere safe as safely as possible. You know, it's best advice I can say, and what I can give. But again, kudos to these officers for definitely acting swiftly, and thankfully it wasn't more massive than what it is. And again, my condolences to the family of the student who did lose their life. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out. If you like my content, just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I try to reply to everyone's comments, and I do appreciate people actually taking time to comment and like the videos, and really just sit and watch the videos. I really appreciate that, and I see my I'm sorry, I see my subscribers growing. So yeah, I definitely look to build a community, and yeah, man, I'm just really thankful, honestly. I've only been on this journey for about 30 days, and so far it's been great. And I just look to keep bringing a lot more videos to you guys, and a lot of different content that I got planned and stuff like that. So thank you for subscribing. And again, this is Justin Paul. Peace.